Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I'm Humayun Star and you're watching my YouTube channel Tech Tutorials. Please subscribe to get the new related videos. Hello everyone. Today in this video we will try to develop our first Android application, and I will tell you how to create an Android application by using Android Studio. So when you will execute the Android Studio, you will have a screen something like this. Here we will create or click on new project button, and then we will create an empty activity, say next. Then you have to give the name, and you have to select the location exactly where you want to save it. So I want to create this project in my D drive, and in my D drive I will create a folder, for example, with the name my apps, and in my apps I will select my apps folder and then click OK. Write the name here of your application, say for example my first app. Click finish. It will take some time to load the activity for the first time. Once your app is loaded, you will have two files in your Android Studio window. One is the main activity.java. This is the file from where the Android Studio starts its execution. And there is another file called activity_main.xml, which will show you the UI design of your Android app. So before doing anything, let us look at the environment. So on your left side, you are having different folders for manifest, Java, okay, and res for resources. And then under resources, there are multiple folders are there. Then we are having a palette. Showing different common views, and then the widgets, what we can use in our application, and different categories of these widgets and layouts, containers. So different types of widgets, containers, and layouts are available in this palette, which we can use in our application. Here on the top, you can have a button from where you can see the design or the blueprint of your design, or both design and the blueprint. And on your top right, you are having design, which is already selected. So for this design, you can have three windows. One is for the code. So the code here, you can create these widgets or these views by writing the code in XML, or you can split this windows into code and the XML. So for example, if I remove this text view code, so you can see the text view will be removed from the window. Fine. And then we are having a design view. So instead of this common, I will go to the first text category. In the text category, you will find two types of widgets. The one is text view. You can see here the icon is not underlined, and the others plain text, password, email, phone, and so on. So different widgets are available, and you can see that most of them are underlined. Means that this underline text view is called EditText here. EditText, and this is used as a text field to take the input from the user, used to display simply a text. So this is only to display, only to show. It works like a label. So first we will use this text view, and we will say here we will drop a label. So if I zoom in, so you will see here, you can hide or show this project window from here, and you can make it available here again. Fine. So I have increased its size a little bit so that you can see it properly. So where I want to display this text view, you can drag it. Automatically two words are attached with it. These are called constraints. These are called constraints, and in your right side window you can see that the constraint widget is available in the attribute panel. Text view will not be exactly available on the location when you will execute your program where without constraints. So if you will not apply the constraints on the widget, it will not be available at the same place where you have designed it in your while designing your application. So it needs to apply the constraints here. So what you can do is take your pointer, so it will show you double circle. Now click from here and drag it to the top. It means that you have applied a constraint here. So similarly, if I remove this and I want to apply a constraint on the right side of this widget, I will simply drag it here. So in this way you can apply the constraints. So now we will see different attributes regarding this text view. So first one is the ID, which is actually a reference to this view. View is actually a rectangular area to show the drawing and event handling. So view is actually a rectangular area for the UI design, user interface design, and it handles the events, right? So I will assign the ID. For example, this is I'm going to create a login screen. So when I typed here login and press enter, it will ask me to change the rename the resource. I say yes. So you can click on refactor button. So wherever this text was being used, so in the all the resources, it will change its name to login wherever it is being used. Right. Now I will change the text property, which is already here, and then you can see that text view is written here. So I can change the text from here. I will write here login please. So I want to design a simple login screen. So press enter. Now you can see the login please. Whatever the text I have written here is being displayed here. Click on this search button, okay, and then type here say size. So text size is available. So I can use 20 sp, which is the text size for I want to use. I can change the color, okay. So text color, you can assign any color, whatever you want, okay. So it is being assigned. You can see here the text color is being assigned, and then I want to change its style. So text style, sorry, because I did look another important point, you have to select the widget before applying the attributes, because my the widget was not selected, so it was not displaying me the correct property. So selection is required to change the property. So text style, I will change it to bold, okay, and then apply. I will minimize this, okay, and then I will show you in the design view also. So design blueprint, so it will show you something like this on the design, okay. Login please, fine. Now what I want to do is I want to accept a username and password from the user. So username I want to accept by using this plain text, okay, plain text. So you can drag it down from here, or you can drag down, say for example I delete this, or you can simply drag it down on the surface here in the login screen, right? So in both ways you can do it. Now I will apply the constraint to this username text field. So and you can see here the text name is written. So close it, this search. You will see that the text property containing the word name. So remove it. I don't want to display this name here. Rather, I want to ask the user to enter the username, right? So, but I will not use the text property here. We can use here the property hint property. So in the hint property, we will ask the user to enter the username. So it will ask the username. Similarly, now you can see that that red color icon is there, which is showing that there is something wrong with it. Okay, so click on this red color icon. It will show you 4 warnings and 1 error. It means that this red color icon is displaying you the error. So how to remove this error? Click on this arrow and then simply click fix. So the text size was too small, it was saying. So you have to fix it and simply the error will be gone. Similarly, now I want to ask the password from the user. You can see that there is simple password and password numeric. For example, I want to use only the numbers, so then I will use the numeric password. So what is the difference between these two? The difference is, if you will use this password, the keyboard which will be available to you when your focus is on this text field, EditText view, this EditText widget, then it will display you the keyboard with the full keyboard. While if you are using this password numeric, it will show you, while executing your application, it will show you only the numeric keyboard. So this is the difference between these two. So I will use now another EditText for password constraint with the upper widget, and then it will be easy to handle these. Okay, similarly, you can apply the constraints on left and right side. So initially it will be a little difficult for you, but when you will be used to it, then it will be easy for you. So now here I want to give the hint to enter the password. I'm asking enter the password. I will change the name, the ID of this password field to PASS. Press enter. So you can see the same ID which is appearing here for the username is appearing on your component tree. So I will change this ID to username, and then refactor it. Okay, again you will have a small red color icon. Touch target size is too small. Fix it by clicking the fix button. Okay, so you can add a button by simple button. You can add. Okay, a simple button is added. So we can add this button. I will remove this constraint, which is the top one, and then you will see that the button has gone down. So I can move it, and then apply the constraint to the upper widget. Now I will change the button name to, for example, BTN. Okay, and then I will change the text here to login. If you want to change this design to more sophisticated design, what we can do, we have to So go to your project folder, and then here in RES resource folders, you are having a drawable folder. Inside this drawable folder, right click on drawable folder and then go to new, click drawable resource file and name it as a round rectangle, for example. Okay, so round rectangle, I will use only the code. Instead of selector, here you will type shape. Okay, so automatically it will be a shape, and at the end here you will use shape rectangle. So shape rectangle. So I want to use two properties for this shape. The one is stroke, the line. Okay, the line which will appear to display the rectangle. So it is called stroke with two properties. One is okay, the stroke with two properties. One is width. I will take the width, say for example 4 dp, and the color I will use, you can use any color, or you can type some color. The color value you can type. Okay, so any color value you can type in hexadecimal. Then this is for stroke. And then corners, I want to use the corners, and the radius of this corner should be 8 dp. So what I have created a file with a rounded rectangle for a shape. I will now use this rounded rectangle shape as a background in my for these edit text views. So go to design, click here, and then go to the split, minimize this, hide this. So click here, edit text. So this is for username. Anywhere you can type here the background. The background I want to use is rounded rectangle, what I have created now, which is in drawable folder. So drawable folder, I have rounded rectangle. So use it. So you can see here that this edit text view is becoming rounded rectangle. Similarly, for the password, I will use again the background as round rectangle, right? So it has become round rectangle. Now you can see that this this username is actually coinciding with the wall of the rounded rectangle. So what we can do, select this edit. To do is you have to write padding and then type here 15 dp. Now you can see that the username is now have moved on the left side a little bit. Similarly, do the same thing, apply padding for the password also. Okay, so I will use the padding 15 dp. This is how we have created the rounded rectangles. Now instead of this simple button, I want to use the image button. So delete this. First of all, before using this image button, I need to drag some image button which is available in my pictures. I have downloaded one image button for login. Okay, so simply drag this image button, sorry, not image button, it is an image. So drag this image in the drawable folder. Okay, and then refactor. So you will find that the login.jpg file is available here. Close it. Now it is available in drawable. So now I will use image button here, and then this login button will be available here to me. Click OK. You can use this image button here anywhere. Resize. But the problem with the resize is it is actually not covering the whole image. So what I need to do is, first I will change its constraints. So delete the constraint from here, apply to the lower part of the password widget, and remove the lower constraint so that it can be available to me on the screen. Now what I need to do is go to the and also fix this no speakable text present. Simply ignore this. Okay, now what I need to do is go to the code. Here there is one attribute called scale type, and then make it fit center. So you can see here that the button is now in the center of this rectangle what we have selected. And one more thing you need to do is you need to change the background. As you can see that the gray background is there, so we will change the background color to white background color, so it will look like this. You can increase or decrease the size of the button. It depends how much size you want to use anyway. So right now we will use it a little big so that we can see it clearly. So this will be our design now. I will change the button name, button ID as BTN, for example, and then refactor this. Now what I want to do is I want to display a message if the user is a valid user or not, by simply writing the Java code. So remember that username ID is uname, password is PASS, and login button is BTN. So now here in main activity.java, already you will have main activity class which is extended from app compat activity, and then automatically one onCreate method is available. So I need to define some variables for edit text. I have username, comma, and password. I have two edit text views, and then I need the button. Sometimes you will find it the text in red color with underline. It says that this for this widget the class is not imported. So either you can press Alt Enter from the keyboard, or you can take your mouse pointer here and then click import class. So both ways you can do it. Now the class is imported here for the button, and for the edit text it was already there. For button we have added anyway. So we have a button, say for example B1. Okay, now we have declared two objects of these two classes, edit text and button. What you need to do is you need to give the reference of your widgets which are available in the design. Okay, you have to give this reference to this these objects what we have declared. So for username you have to use find view by id. Find view by id method actually will return the reference from the widget and then assign it to the object. Here we are using it. So r.id dot. So when you will type u, it will show you username. So first of all we need to assign the references of our widgets with what we are using in the UI design. Then for pass, we need to use find view by id r.id dot TAS. And then similarly for button B1, we will find view by id r.id dot btn. So here I have used dot. I need to use dot. Is there any problem here? Yes, I am using actually button, but it is not a button, it is image button. It is image button. Okay, it is not a button, it is image button. The next thing is I need to create a method when the button is clicked. Okay, when the button is clicked, it should display me some message, right? So valid user or invalid user. So what I need to do is I need to write a method public void check login method. And this check login method, actually it requires one parameter for view. If you will not assign this parameter, this view class need to be imported. So alt enter, so it will be imported. If you will not apply this this parameter here, then this method will not be available to this button. Okay, I will show you later on. Now what you need to do is you need to check whether this is a valid user or password. So we will take a variable string for username. Okay, say user, and password for integer password. Now I need to get the values from the widget. Okay, but the widget reference is available here in the UN. So I will use UN instead of username, uname. I will use UN here. So I will get the value into the user is equal to UN dot get text. Get text method will get the text, but this user is of type string, so you need to change this to a string. Okay, then we will get the value for the password. From by using pass dot get text dot to string, but this is a string but password is integer, so we need to typecast by using a wrapper class integer dot parse int and then change this string into the integer and assign it to the variable password. So we got these two values from the EditText widget, and now we will check. For example, if, so we'll apply if condition, if user dot equals to, for example, early, and password is equal to 123, for example, then say it a valid user, otherwise invalid user. So now if you want to display a short message, then we can use toast. So toast toast.makeText. So automatically it has written toast. Then the first argument will be the context. This is the context, and here is the message. You need to type the message here that it is a valid user, valid user. Okay, and then comma toast.length short. You can change it to long. Delete this. Dot toast dot length long. Length long dot show is the method to display the toast. Otherwise, else part, else we will use to display the toast dot make text. This is a context and message is invalid user, comma toast dot length long dot show. Now we will run this program to check how does it work. There is something missing here. We did not assign this check login to the image button. So what you need to do is we need to select the button and then check the attribute on click. So on click event, it should execute the check login method. On click method, in on click, it should execute the check login method. Okay, so I will stop my application and then I will run it again. Here we go. So I will write the name Ali and the password is 123. Okay, and then when I will click login, you can see valid user. So toast is displaying valid user. Okay, if I change the username, for example, to Ahmad, okay, and I click login, so it says invalid user, invalid user. So it's working fine. So thanks for watching this video. Stay in touch. Assalamu alaikum.